The race is on now to give all adults in the U.S. access to COVID-19 vaccines. The Biden administration has set a goal of May 1st, and this comes as some states are loosening restrictions. But as Camilla Bernal explains, some health experts are still warning Americans not to drop their guard just yet.
It's a race against the variants. And for the Biden administration, it means working to allow any adult who wants a vaccine to get one.
We know the more virus that replicates, the more variants will emerge. And what we really don't want to see is another surge right now as people are starting to ease restrictions.
While many medical experts do not agree on rolling back the restrictions, many states are moving forward.
Today is a day that a lot of things are going to start to change that you're going to notice.
Similar situations in Maryland, Oklahoma, and others. These measures likely motivated by the stabilization of the number of new cases and vaccine availability.
We've all been through this for a whole year, and now we can get out. Now we can travel more. Now we can see people.
About 10% of Americans are fully vaccinated. But the Biden team hopes to see an increase in that figure throughout the spring months, which may allow for safe gatherings for the 4th of July.
This is certainly not a time to put down your guard. Mask up and follow the public health standards. Together, unified, we can defeat this pandemic.
I'm Camilla Bernal reporting.
Here are the latest CDC vaccination rates in Kansas and Missouri. In Kansas, 303,000 people have been fully vaccinated. That's 10.4% of the state's population. In Missouri, it's 598,000 people, or 9.7% of the state population. Vaccination sites are expanding in Missouri. KMBC 9's Michael Mahoney says it's part of a shift in the state's vaccination tactics.
Monday, Missouri's vaccination process throws a new pitch, vaccinating more than 600 people at the Negro League Baseball Museum.
We basically have the entire facility, including the atrium, the changing gallery, the visitor center.
It's a vaccination doubleheader, one morning session, one in the afternoon. All the slots are already full, but they're going to have several of these on Mondays when the museum's closed.
It made it for the most convenient day without interrupting any of the normal museum business as it related to people coming in to gain this experience.
Hy-Vee is sponsoring this event. They're giving shots at their area stores too. This is not a coincidence. For a couple of weeks now, Governor Mike Parson and Missouri health officials have been talking about getting more vaccine into the Kansas City metro. Having an event here is part of that, and addressing the issue of some black Kansas Cityans being reluctant to get a shot.
It takes away some of the preconditioned thoughts relative to medical professions and medical offices.
This is an example of the change in the strategy, the vaccine going to the people rather than the other way around. Michael Mahoney, KMBC 9 News.
Now, Missouri goes into that next phase on Monday. KMBC 9's Matt Evans has the details on who's next in line and when they might be able to get a shot.
That means around 550,000 more Missourians will become eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine this Monday. But it's important to remember that demand is still far greater than supply in the state. So even if you are eligible in this new tier that opens up in 3 days, well, you might still be waiting for several weeks before you can get a COVID-19 vaccination appointment. Missouri's Phase 1B Tier 3 opens up Monday, March 15th. It's the critical infrastructure part of the state's vaccination plan. It includes those that work in education and childcare, communications, energy, food and agriculture, government, and information technology sectors. If you work in one of those sectors, or if you aren't sure if you're eligible, you can find a detailed list and sign up for a vaccine at mostopscovid.com. As the vaccine supply increases, the state is expecting to move to Phase 2 of its plan, which includes additional job sectors and also those that are disproportionately affected by the COVID-19 virus within 45 days of Monday. It's still unclear exactly when the state will be moving to Phase 3, which would open up eligibility to all Missourians. In downtown Kansas City, Matt Evans, KMBC 9 News.
Kansas health officials are preparing to move into Phase 3 of the state's vaccination plan. Health Secretary Dr. Lee Norman says the move will happen within the next month. That means people between the ages of 16 and 64 with severe medical risks can get vaccinated. Other critical workers are covered, along with anyone who qualifies under the first two phases. Johnson County is expanding its COVID-19 vaccinations to high-contact critical workers. KMBC 9's Bianca Beltran reports residents in those categories can now sign up for appointments through the health department and its partners.
The next tier of Phase 2 includes employees of retail businesses, grocery stores, restaurants, and bars, as well as transportation workers, including bus drivers, rideshare, and taxi drivers. The Johnson County Health Department is now reaching out to eligible people who have signed up through their vaccine interest survey. As they move into this group, appointments are filling up fast.
And there will be a lot more spots that open up next week in those categories. So, like I've said, with your 65 plus, right now is the best opportunity to get vaccinated.
KU Health System is among the providers working with the health department to expand opportunities to receive a COVID-19 vaccine. They expect an increase from receiving about 1,000 doses a week to as many as 4,000 doses.
It's due to some influx of Johnson & Johnson. It's due to an increase in inventory of Moderna and Pfizer. And it's also due to the fact that some counties in the state of Kansas have indicated to the state that they are now done with Phase 2. And so their allocation for next week are being redirected to counties that aren't finished with Phase 2.
This phase focuses on workers in high-risk settings.
But our goal is to get vaccine into your arm as soon as possible, as quickly as we can.
Bianca Beltran, KMBC 9 News.
Johnson County is launching a new survey today for everyone interested in a COVID-19 vaccine. The health department is also partnering with pharmacies to expand access to the vaccines. Olathe Health is holding a vaccination event for homeless populations tomorrow. It will be from noon until 2 at the Salvation Army off Santa Fe in Olathe. Hundreds of doses of Johnson & Johnson vaccine were thrown out after a mix-up at Lawrence Memorial Hospital. KMBC 9's Emily Hallwick explains what happened and what's being done to make sure it never happens again.
The hospital says a misunderstanding led to nearly 600 doses of COVID-19 vaccine having to be thrown out here at Lawrence Memorial Hospital. We asked about the steps being taken to make sure no dose goes unused moving forward.
This was a very difficult situation to navigate.
Rebecca Smith with Lawrence Memorial Hospital says vaccines usually arrive here from the Lawrence Douglas County Health Department frozen.
Our standard process then is to place them into the appropriate freezer at the hospital until they're ready for distribution.
But staff didn't realize the delivery Wednesday was different.
Then about 24 hours later, we realized that the vaccine had arrived thawed.
Now refrozen, the vaccines were unusable. It meant some vaccination appointments this week had to be canceled. It's a mistake Smith calls heartbreaking.
You know, this is a situation that it was truly dismaying for our team members who have worked so hard. But at the end of the day, it's not systems or processes that manage pandemics like this, it's people.
She says it's a tough lesson learned and changes will be made.
There's no one more committed to ensuring that this doesn't happen again. And so I think we'll see our team revisit its processes, double and triple check, and continue to have that ongoing commitment.
Emily Hallwick, KMBC 9 News.
The county's health department says 600 replacement doses are on the way. Appointments that were canceled this week will be rescheduled for next week. And if you want the vaccine but you still don't know where to turn, go to KMBC.com and click on the How to Get a Vaccine option. And if you have your phone handy right now, just point your phone's camera at the screen right now and you can scan that QR code. You'll also find vaccine information for where you live, plus a list of the latest vaccination events.